Hello everyone and welcome to a new video from your Overwatch. I'm Eddie the Chump and today we're going to cover the ranking system changes coming in January, as well as some of the community's feedback concerning how Platinum rank and below players won't be having the SR adjustment system removed from their ranked matches. Now we've heard and paid attention to a lot of the community's outcry about this issue. One of the main concerns from lower ranked players is that because that system isn't being removed, it's going to create a culture at those ranks where everyone just picks DPS, throwing the team comps all out of whack, and their games are actually going to be worse because of it, as everyone makes a mad dash for Diamond. Now, as someone who has experience of playing at Plat and low Diamond, I'm here today to sort of gently debunk a few of those ideas, as well as offering up positive solutions for how to actually help all players, no matter what rank they're at. First things first, we've always been against the SR adjustment system, and in a perfect world, it would be gone from the lower ranks too. But the issue's not really that black and white. There's a few factors that not a lot of people think about. Firstly, removing the SR adjustment system will be a massive cultural shock to a lot of players. Having the scenario where the only thing that really matters is the end result of a match will be like a super bright light focusing in on every player's flaws. What the SR system did do is keep players amongst their mechanical peers. When that safety net is taken away, what will happen eventually, and what does happen in other games currently, is that when players rank up, you will go to a new tier of skill. And a lot of the time, that move up the ranks can feel like an absolute body blow, as you will suddenly be playing against players who are significantly mechanically better than you. They will do things that you have never seen and are not prepared for. And in that way, that system is much fairer, but it can feel exceptionally brutal. Part of the problem with having this SR adjustment system in place for so long is that in some ways, it hides players' own shortcomings from themselves. Because you're always playing against people who are roughly mechanically equal to yourself, playing in a system that doesn't have that and going up a rank will feel like you're playing against Smurfs 100% of the time. It is the right thing for the culture of the game. It will in the long term engender better practices and better learning standards for how to play and understand Overwatch. But in the short term, a lot of players will find that transition quite difficult. Let's quickly cover the theory that now at lower ranks, because it's not gone from Plat and below, everyone's just going to pick DPS and it's going to ruin the matches. Well, what the SR system doesn't do is protect you from just being mechanically weaker. I should know this. I'm not under any illusions that I'm better than the current rank that I play in. If I was genuinely mechanically good, better than those around me, the SR adjustment system would have already moved me on. The system still requires you to win. Come January, and if you're in Plat, you won't just be able to pick DPS, win 40% of your games, and magically be put into Diamond. That's proven by the fact that already at those lower ranks, many people consistently pick DPS and don't rank up. We need to gently have a bit of real talk. If you are stuck in a rank, it's because mechanically you're not standing out compared to your peers, you're not outperforming them. If you were, you would lose less SR when you lost and gain more when you won. So it's a matter of big picture, the SR adjustment system going is a good thing. But at the macro level, on the personal level, the game will feel much more difficult, as it will punish you for not having as developed game sense and for not being able to compete mechanically at any given rank. A big misconception is that DPS stats are the only relevant stats to rank up. That's false. We're talking about every hero. Every ability you can hit, every bit of healing, damage blocking, that all counts too for the hero that you're on. It's also a misconception because these are apples to apples comparisons. You're not being compared statistically to a DPS. If you play Rein, for example, you'd be compared to other Reins. A big reason why this system is being abandoned at the top ranks is because some of the biggest plays in the game are impossible to quantify, and it's not really feasible to track all the relevant stats in the first place. Obviously, for the same reason, we think it should be done away with at low ranks too. There are some measures Blizzard could take, however, to actually improve the standard of matches at all ranks under this new system, and one of those is certainly a role queue or a role preference queue. A large part of the problem as to why Overwatch matches can feel like deathmatch and aren't very organized is because for the longest time, players have been able to just get by mechanically. That's why you see 5 DPS comps at all ranks. You even see it up to GM. The role queue idea is an expression of trying to get a more even balance of skill sets within a certain match, therefore making practical team comp forming much easier. Now, even if that system is implemented, you won't always get to play the hero or role that you want, but it would drastically reduce the cases of getting 4 Mercy mains on one team. That's annoying no matter what rank you play at. That change alone would be far more impactful for the quality of matches at Plat and below. Because if anything, at those lower ranks, there is actually a better culture of trying to work together than in amongst the mechanically good players at the higher ranks. Another thing that could be greatly improved upon is the group play dynamics in Overwatch. One of the biggest reasons why Smurf accounts even exist, that a lot of lower ranked players see as a big problem, is because it's not easy for friends to play together. For example, I can't play with Liam or Frito unless they're using a Smurf. Perhaps more importantly, I can't even play with them in a 6-stack. Now, other games that also have ranking systems also tend to be a lot more relaxed about the skill differential allowed or permissible within a group trying to play a game in a full pre-made. Overwatch is extremely stringent in that regard because of the dastardly spectre of boosting, which Blizzard themselves see as a much bigger problem, even bigger than that of Smurfs. If that were changed, then you wouldn't have to enter solo queue completely alone, unsure of what teammates you're going to get, unsure of how well they're going to play, never knowing if they're going to join voice chat or try and play with you and form a decent comp. Now, I understand that some people in the community are against 6-stacking, especially when it comes to matching 6-man teams against solo players, especially at the same rank. But on this channel, we've always advocated that a separate team queue would be a fair compromise. That way, groups of players can play against each other, learn the game, improve their rank, without making the person who only likes to play solo or in small groups play against a highly organized team. Overwatch in general hasn't been that conducive to playing with your friends for quite a long time. And yet, when you think about it, Overwatch is a team game, and it is about strategy and solving problems much more than it is about mechanics, actually. If grouping restrictions were slightly relaxed, or there was a separate team queue, a lot of people's matches would vastly improve. It seems at this point in the game, there is quite a large consensus about throwing out the old SR adjustment system because they want the competitive mode to be more about winning. And without being unkind, and coming from the perspective of knowing what it's like to play at those lower ranks, I really do think it's a case of be careful what you wish for, because the game will get harder, not easier when that happens. The ranks will become more distinct and defined. If you're anything like me, that is something that you welcome, actually, because one thing that Overwatch has never really done well is teach a player who's not as informed or not as practiced mechanically and give them a clear route to improvement. Having a more punishing ranking system does do that. That is one of its benefits. And like I said at the beginning, we are actually in favor of the SR adjustment system being completely removed, but it does come with consequences, and some of those are more painful, especially for a player base that has been used to playing amongst its mechanical peers since the inception of the game. It's what we want for sure, but it's not an instant answer that some people think it might be. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to leave a rating. If you never want to miss another video of ours again, please click the bell icon next to the subscribe button on our channel to join the notification squad. You'll be in good company. And finally, please follow the Your Overwatch Twitter. It's where you can find updates about new videos and other cool stuff. I've been Eddie the Chump, and until next time,